Hello, everybody. Can you hear me? Hello? Hello, everybody. Okay, everybody should have the PDFs. Testing. How you doing, Ed? Today we're going to do some rolls and roughs. What is going on with the feedback? Any feedback? Okay, I fixed it, I think. Anyway, today we're going to work on some rolls and some roughs. And the names have been changed. I don't know why. You know, it's like when I was coming up, when I was starting to first start to play, a roll was called a roll. And a rough today is called a single five as opposed to a five-stroke rough. So what I've been doing is taking things from the Buddy Rich book, Henry Adler's system, and demonstrating it down to ground zero. Let me get the PDF. Let's see what we got. The more organized I get, the less things happen here. Okay, let's start with the five-stroke rough. We okay with that? AKA the single five. All right. Why it's called a single five, I don't know. They want to. We're confused enough, and they want to confuse us a little bit more. Okay, now if you see the five-stroke rough rather, it's just what it is. It's five strokes, alternating strokes. So what we have, I presented it in 6/8 time. Now, for those who don't know what 6/8 means, well, there is 6 beats to a measure, and each eighth note receives one count or one beat. Example: 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. If I'm going to use alternate strokes, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Double strokes: 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So now, to get 5 strokes equal inside of 6/8, we're going to leave the last note, 6, as a rest. But now you have to be aware of the levels. And it's just a natural way of playing. It's the laws of physics. If I want to obtain one particular sound or a constant sound from the right and the left, I come down from one point. So what we're going to do is we're going to start the five-stroke rough at this point. So we maintain the sound. But something's going to happen inside the five. I have to get in position to nail an accent. And the accent on the first one, if I start with the right, ends with the accent will be on the right. If I start with the left, the accent will be on the left. So there's going to be an upstroke in there. So you have 1, it's a tap, 2 is a tap, 3 is an upstroke, 4 is a tap, 5 is a downstroke. So I get the accent. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And then it reverses itself to the left side because I'm playing alternating five-stroke roughs. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay, so let's do that in tempo. I want to play my bass drum on the counts of 1 and 3, like this. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. You don't have to do that, but I like to do that. You could just play 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So I'm going to play it on 1 and 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. I'm sorry. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. We could leave the bass drum out. 1, 2, D, 4, 5. 1, 2, D, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, D, 4, 5. And that's one formation. The second formation I've given is in 3/4. 3/4 means there's 3 beats to the measure. 1, 2, 3. That's 3/4, 3/4 notes. So you have 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Alternating 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, so now we have eighth notes. It's all mathematical. 2/8 equals 1/4. So now we have the 5-stroke rough. 1 and 2 and 3 and 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 so that takes care. It's the beginning. It's the ground zero. It's what a 5-stroke rough is, or if you want to call it a single 5, go for it. Whatever it is, but it's all it is the combination of single strokes with 5 single strokes with an accent on the 5th stroke in time. Okay, so the next formation is in 4/4. Now 4/4 means 4 beats to a measure. Each quarter note receives 1 count or 1 beat. Again, 1, 2, 3, 4. That's a measure of 4/4 with 4 quarter notes. If I want to play eighth notes, 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and so 2/8 equal the quarter. Now we go like we're on the third one. Now we have 16th notes to the quarter. So if you're brand new with this, I would highly recommend just counting a constant 16th note pulse, like 1 E and 2 E and 3 E and 4 E and 1 E and 2 E and 3 E and 4 E and So now I have 4/16. Now if you reduce 4/16 to its lowest term, it equals 1/4. So I have to get 4 notes equal to the count of 2. So I have 1 E and 2 E and 3 E and 4 E and 1 E and 2 E and 3 E and 4 E and any questions to this point? Any questions? Okay, now that takes care of 6/8 and eighth notes, 3/4 and eighth notes, and a combination of quarter notes, a quarter note, and 16th notes in 4/4. Now we're going to go to 30 to the eighth. And again, it's all mathematical for those who don't understand reading. You have, in the beginning of the 4th line, you have 4 32nd notes. Well, if you reduce that, that would equal 2 16ths or 1/8. Now you combine that will give you 1/4. So the way I count, let me just do a run of 16th notes first so you feel how they go into 4/4. 1 E and 2 E and 3 E and 4 E and a little faster. 1 3 E and 4 E and 1 E. And notice when I'm doing that, I avoid playing any accents. So now I have the 32nds to the eighth. 1 E and 2 E and 3 E and 4 E and 1 E and 2 E and 3 E and 4 E and. Okay, That's a longhand way of writing, actually, the way you will see a 5-stroke roll being presented in 4/4 time. If you go down to line 5, you see an eighth note with 2 flags, which represents 30 seconds with a tie over to the eighth. That's exactly what you have above, but it's shorthand. Okay, so you have 1 EN, 2 EN, 3 EN, 4 EN. Notice the levels there. It's just a natural way to play. You want to get one volume, you come down from one point. You want to get an accent, you lift up inside of that point to come down to an accent. Now that's starting on the downbeat. You go over to the next measure, we're starting the 5-stroke rough or single 5 on the upbeat, on the and. So you have 1 E and 2 E and 3 E and 4 E. Now the tie, I couldn't get a tie in my program, wouldn't let me do that. A tie over to the 1 unless I did another measure. Okay? Now, that's 5 different ways to do the 5-stroke rough. Now, we go over one more way, and probably this is a newer way of thought for even the seasoned players. I have it in triplet formation. And as you see, the first note of the triplet has one more flag, and the and of the triplet has one more flag. So that's telling me this is 16th note triplet over to the 8th. So I have 1 and da, 2 and da, 1 and da, 2 and da, 3 and da. Okay, guys, that's the 5-stroke rough. Now I want to hit the 5-stroke roll. And I always used to get confused with that. 5-stroke rough, 5-stroke roll. What's the difference? Well, there is a difference. It's labeled that way, and it's a 5-stroke roll. The difference is the rough or single 5 is singles. The 5-stroke roll is doubles to a single. So now, again, I presented it in 6/8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And on the count of 6, we have an 8th note rest. Now, you have to watch the levels. You want to get a nice, clean sound, a nice musical sound. You're projecting correctly. You're executing correctly. You're maintaining one sound here. You put your hand in position to come down to nail an accent. So we have the 5-stroke roll. 1, which is a tap. 2 is an upstroke. 3 is a tap. 4 is a tap. 5 is a downstroke. We go to the next measure, which reverses itself. 1 is a tap. 2 is an upstroke. 3 is a tap. 4 is a tap. 5, 6. So in tempo. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Nice and slow. We're not after speed here. We're in formation, and we're developing how the stick attacks the drum. You're down low for taps. You bring it up to get in position for an upstroke. To nail, you're doing an upstroke rather to get in position for the downstroke. 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Nice and easy. That's a 5-stroke roll. Okay? You don't really see something like that if you're doing Charlie Wilcoxon's 150 rudimental solos or rudimental swings or any rudimental book. You'll see. Hello, sticks. Okay? All right, we go down to the second formation, which is in 3/4 again. Again, 3/4, 3 beats to a measure Each quarter note receives one counter, one beat. Now the levels remain the same, but the thought now, instead of 6/8, it's 1 and 2 and 3 and 1 and 2 and 3. And instead of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, it's 1 and 2 and 3 and 1 and 2 and 3. And the levels remain the same in the same place. 1, 2, yeah. 1 and 2 and 3 and 1 and 2 and 3. 1 and 2 and 3 and 1 and 2 and 3. Now, Ed, this is more or less for beginners or people who just never had this kind of thing. You know, they do a 5-stroke roll, 5-stroke off. It's not, you know, I'm not doing any kind of field drumming. I'm just demonstrating how these things happen, or what they are rather, and how to execute them correctly so you develop the correct sound. So for the seasoned players, it's nice to revisit things like this. And for the new guys, well, it's brand new and it's something that you've never had before. And I would recommend practicing this way. You know, this is from the Buddy Rich book, The Adler System. Okay, now we go down to 4/4, number 3. This is the 5-stroke roll. Okay, we have now 16th notes to the quarter. And again, I would recommend counting in 16th notes. 1 E and 2 E and 3. Nice and relaxed. And 4 E and a little faster. 2 E and. See, now they label it as a 5-stroke roll, which is okay. And there's no AKA anything now. It's just a 5-stroke roll. But, you know, I used to come from the rudimental school, and that was through the drum corps. And everything is labeled. This is a paradiddle, this is a patty-fa-fa, this is a flamicue, this is a 13-stroke roll, etc., and all that good stuff. This is not field drumming. So what I'm doing is I'm breaking this down for everyone. That's a 5-stroke roll. See, my concept is there's only 3 rudiments: singles, doubles, and flams. So now here you have the 5-stroke roll. You have 4 doubles. You have 2 rights, 2 lefts, and then a single. Again, reversing it is 2 doubles, 4 doubles, and a single. So that you know, it's just a combination of singles, doubles, or flams. That is my scope of rudiments. Okay, so now what we have is, now we go to line 4. Okay, line 4, now we have the 32nd note to the 8th note, but the levels remain the same to execute correctly. 1 E and 2 E and 3 E and 4 E and 1 E and 2 E and. So yeah. Okay, that's the shorthand, the longhand rather. We go to the longhand, the shorthand rather, and again you see 30 seconds tied over to the and. 3 E and 4 E and 1 E and 2 E and 3 E and 4 E and. All right, then we go to the next version where the 5-stroke roll starts on the and, the upbeat. So we have still the 8th note to 30 seconds to the 8th note. 1 E and 2 E and 3 E and 4 E and 1 E and 2 E and 3 E and 4. Now, the reason why I'm taking rudiments basic is because in the following weeks to come on YouTube, we're going to do some reading. And we're going to do it from Charlie Wilcoxon, 150 Rudimental Solos, both in 6/8 and 2/4. Now, I love that book, and it really swings if you take a different approach as opposed to just rudimental. Now, we're going to be doing the basic concept of Charlie Wilcoxon book and a breakdown of the reading on YouTube. In the evening, I will demonstrate how to make them kind of swing. Okay, like we're going to do tonight. Tonight we're going to work on, I sent out PDFs, the triplet permutations against the jazz, straight ahead jazz pattern. And that's going to be at night. But however, if you want to view them at night, you're going to have to become a member. Now, in order to become a member, you have to sign up to the website, and I'll put the website here. That's the website. If you want to view the lessons at 8:30, it's a paid-for site. So if you want to become a member, feel free to sign up. I will be doing on Monday and Wednesday at 1:30, still YouTube for free. Okay? Okay, Ed, you got that? Any questions on this? Now that takes care of the 5-stroke rough, 5-stroke roll. I guess we'll go to the 7. And Wednesday we're going to work with the 6-stroke roll. Where is it? And 9-stroke roll, 10-stroke roll, 11, 13, 15, and where is that paper? Huh. I didn't print it out. Oh well. You don't have one on the 7-stroke roll, do you guys? Sorry. Okay. Well, like I said, next week what we're going to do, we're going to work on, Wednesday rather, we're going to work on the 6-stroke, the 7-stroke, 7-stroke rough, the 9-stroke roll, 9-stroke rough, 10-stroke roll, 10-stroke rough, 11-stroke roll and rough, 13 roll and rough, 15 roll and rough, 17 roll and rough. Okay? That would take care of Wednesday. The following week, I don't have it, Ed. I don't know what I did with. Hold on a minute, Ed. I want to present it to you as it's on the PDF. I have so many PDFs here, it's ridiculous. Okay. Well, what it is just 7 strokes. Let me just try to remember how I presented it. I'm not sure. But anyway, I believe the first one was in 4/4, and I presented it in 1/8 notes. So if you do 4/4 in 1/8 notes, you have 8 beats, or 8 notes in 1/8 notes. So you leave the and off. So you have 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. I'm sorry, that's 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. You're going to stop it at the 4. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2, 3 and 4 and 1, 2, 3, 4 and 1. So you learn the language is what this is. You're learning I'm going to do the 7-stroke rough again come Wednesday. The 7, the 6, 7, the 9, the 10, 11, 12, 13, and 15, and 17. Roughs and rolls. It's in 6, 1 and 2 and 3 and 4. Is it this way, Ed? 1 and 2 and 3 and 4, 5, 6. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4, 5, 6. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 5 and 6. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. Is that the way I presented it? I'm sorry. But I'm going to go back to that Wednesday. Now, after this week, we're going to review some reading. 6/8, mostly. Okay? And then we're going to take a few examples from the Charlie Wilcoxon book, and we're going to, in 6/8, and we're going to play them as written. Then we're going to play them in cut time. All right, and then we're going to swing them. But that's in the evening. Hey, Ed, are you going to sign up for my site? That was a 7-stroke roll with doubles. I didn't do the 7-stroke. I'll do them Wednesday, Ed, because I'm running out of time right now. Okay, if anybody who is listening and watching wants the PDFs on this, I'm going to just email me, and I'll send them to you. You'd be put on my mailing list as well. Okay? Okay. All right, tonight what we're going to do, I set up a few different things here. Let me see if I could do this on this computer. For example, I have a different view, a couple different cameras. I set up one camera, just that the screen is not giving me what I want to do. So let me just get it going on here. Hold on. I'll show you what I'm talking about. Playing a straight ahead time. Just as an example of what we're going to do tonight. Come on. Up. A little more. Wow. Yeah. We don't want that. Inga-bunga. Let's try this. I put a different view. Hope this works. This computer stuff just drives me cuckoo. I'm waiting for it to... there you go. That's a different view. That's my ride symbol. You can see my stick. I think. I just hit the symbol. Come on. There you go. You can see my stick and my symbol. Now what I'm going to do is show you how to do the free stroke from this point. I should have raised it a little bit. The free stroke, downstroke. How we're doing what our free stroke is. Free stroke on the symbol would be free stroke, down, a free stroke, down. I'm starting from the same point. So I get that sound going on. Now, the things that we're going to do tonight, I'll get this pad off here. So on and so forth. We're going to get to that tonight. I got to set the camera up just a little bit differently. Okay, there's no questions, no problems. If not, I'm going to have to sign out and say, see you this afternoon. Tonight, rather. Any questions? Remember, if you want the PDFs for today's lesson, email me. Okay, guys? I'm going to sign off now. No questions. Going 1 time, 2 times, 3 times, no questions. All right, we'll see hopefully everybody tonight, 8:30, on my site, mattpatellallivelessons.com. Thank you for everybody for coming and seeing it. Okay, see you later.